My beloved child, stay till the end because what you are about to hear will change the way you see someone completely. Heaven has been observing a connection that was never meant to continue beyond a certain point, and now the truth is surfacing like fire through the silence. There is someone whose name still echoes in your heart even though you haven't spoken in a while. They keep reaching for their phone, typing your name, wanting to message you, but something unseen stops them every single time. It's not coincidence, it's restriction, a divine block placed for your protection. You felt it, haven't you? That strange pull when you suddenly think of them and then a cold stillness follows. That's the barrier of heaven closing in, making sure they cannot reach you because their intentions are no longer pure. They were warned in spirit not to disturb your peace again, but their heart still battles with guilt and curiosity. At first, their messages were warm, but later they turned into silent weapons of manipulation disguised as care. Now, every time they think about you, something happens around them, phones freezing, messages deleting, calls not going through. It's not technology, it's protection. Heaven has literally disabled their access to your energy until they confront what they did behind your back. There was a moment, not long ago, when they tried to reach out again late at night. But their screen went black, their heart raced, and an invisible force whispered, "Not this time." They aren't allowed to speak to you until they repent, because the truth they hide could break your heart. They told someone that they could easily return to your life whenever they wanted, that you'd always be waiting. Heaven heard that arrogance and decided to shut every door that leads to you. Now they're left watching from afar, unable to type your name without trembling. Every message they attempt to send gets lost in the void. Every thought they form about you dissolves into shame. They see your updates, your light, your rise, and it burns their conscience because they know they're no longer worthy of your attention. This wasn't just gossip, it was energy exchange. They spoke of you with someone who wished to dim your destiny, and by doing so, they handed over the key to their own communication rights. Heaven said, "You cannot text the chosen until your soul is clean." That's why they vanish every time you feel they're about to appear. That's why you sense them staring from shadows but never stepping forward. They are in silent punishment, walking through lessons designed to make them understand the cost of betraying someone divine. A message from the heavens will reach you first, carrying proof of why this separation was necessary. When you see a sudden message request, wait. Don't rush. That first text may not come from them directly, it may be a test of your patience, a final confirmation that your spirit has outgrown their vibration. Because this person, deep down, is still trying to find a loophole in destiny's rulebook. They miss you, but they are forbidden to act on it. They crave your energy, but angels guard it fiercely. And until they surrender their ego, no technology or trick will reconnect you. Yes, those exact words. They brushed it off, tried again, and within minutes, something strange happened, a power outage, a broken phone, an urgent distraction pulling them away. That's heaven's way of saying, back off until you've learned respect. Meanwhile, you've been feeling lighter, haven't you? More peace, more clarity, fewer random messages that drained your energy. That's because the universe cleared your communication path to prepare you for someone worthy, someone who will speak truth without fear. And what's coming next will restore every broken conversation with divine connection. Right now, their silence isn't rejection, it's divine redirection. They're being held in spiritual timeout until they admit what they said, what they did, and who they let interfere. Because words carry energy, and there's created a storm that now surrounds them. But you, my beloved child, are being lifted higher. Every day they stay silent, your frequency grows louder. Every tear you cried because of their distance became a declaration of strength written across your destiny. That person will mention your name softly, almost by accident. But when they do, your spirit will feel it. You'll finally understand that the reason they cannot text you isn't because they don't care, it's because heaven locked the line. The universe doesn't allow access to the chosen without purpose. So until they find humility, they'll keep watching you glow from a distance. And every time they try to send, "Hey," heaven whispers, "No, soon, a new message will arrive in divine timing, not from the past, but from the future meant for you." That new message will open with peace, not confusion. It will carry truth, not temptation. And when you read it, you'll realize why heaven had to keep certain conversations undone. What was silenced was meant to save you. Because heaven knows what was being planned behind every text unsent. My beloved child, stay right here, don't move, don't scroll. Because what's coming now will reveal the unseen side of their silence. Something you never imagined was happening behind your back is now surfacing from the very roots of destiny. Every vibration of your name now echoes in realms they cannot access. When they try to speak about you, their own throat tightens, their voice shakes, and suddenly everything around them begins to malfunction. The same hands that once typed those sweet messages now tremble with regret every time your memory flashes across their mind. You might think they've moved on, but in reality, they're trapped in a cycle of reminders. Every person they meet reflects your name, your scent, your tone. It's as if the universe is forcing them to face the echo of the soul they once mishandled. They wanted control over you, but heaven took back the control from them. That's why their plans keep falling apart. Every time they plan to contact you, something blocks it, a sudden call, a network issue, or an internal voice that says, "Not now." They were told spiritually, "Do not message this soul until your truth is clean." They tried to ignore that voice, but each attempt brought chaos, unpaid bills, broken sleep, unexpected loss. Every consequence is tied to the text they weren't supposed to send. You are not ordinary, my beloved. You are marked with divine frequency. That's why heaven protects you from half-hearted apologies and fake concern. Late at night, they type your name, erase it, type it again, erase it again. Because the angels are literally standing behind them, whispering, "Don't disturb the chosen." They stare at your last message, hoping for one more chance, but heaven won't allow shortcuts anymore. They remember the last conversation, the tone, the pause, the way your energy felt sacred yet calm. That moment still haunts them because it was the last door before heaven sealed the gate. And since that night, every attempt to reach you has met invisible resistance. Stay right here. Because in a few moments, I'll reveal what's truly coming next. It's not just about messages, it's about destiny aligning new communication into your life. Your energy shifted the entire vibration around them. The moment you decided to move in silence, their spiritual access expired. Now they're wandering between memories, searching for forgiveness they're too proud to ask for. They wanted to test if they still had power over your emotions. But heaven flipped the script, now your peace has power over their chaos. That's why they're restless, even when everything around them looks fine. The new connection will come softly, at an unexpected time, perhaps in the evening or after a random thought. Their message will carry warmth, not wounds. And when you read it, you'll feel peace instead of anxiety. But before that, heaven wants you to understand why this old energy was blocked. Because that person once mocked your prayers. They told others that your faith made you too emotional, and heaven heard it all. Now they understand that your faith was your shield all along. They see your light rising higher, while their phone remains silent. Their silence isn't distance, it's divine correction. Because the energy around you is shifting in your favor. Every unsent message is now turning into spiritual repayment for the pain they caused. You will soon see signs, numbers repeating, lights flickering, songs reminding you of freedom. Those are heaven's signals that you are being released from their grip completely. The universe wants you to feel lighter, freer, untouched by guilt or expectation. That person now scrolls through your old photos and wonders how they lost someone so pure. But they can't express it, because their words have lost power. When heaven revokes communication rights, no charm can reopen the gate. Heaven is redirecting the energy once wasted on sorrow into abundance, laughter, and alignment. New conversations will rise, ones that build you instead of break you. Messages that make your heart glow instead of ache. They'll watch from afar as someone new understands you effortlessly. No hesitation, no confusion, just flow, peace, truth. And at that moment, they will realize why they were never allowed to text you again. Stay right here. Because soon, you'll hear your own name spoken in places you never expected. People will talk about your growth, your peace, your success, and they'll know heaven favored you. Their silence will turn into your soundtrack of strength. Their absence will become the reason others admire your grace. And the day they finally understand what they lost, it will be too late to undo heaven's order. Because once heaven closes a chapter, no human can rewrite it. Your story is moving into a higher frequency, new love, new truth, new peace. All written under divine timing, not emotional impulse. Because you were never rejected, you were rerouted. The silence that once confused you has now become your greatest protection. This is your season of spiritual clearance. No more half messages, no more ghosted nights, no more emotional confusion. Only clear voices, kind hearts, and loyal intentions will reach your space now. When you finally receive the message that's truly meant for you, you'll smile quietly. Because you'll realize that the delay was divine. The one who couldn't text you became the lesson, the one who will text you next will become the blessing. My beloved child, stay right here, don't even blink. Because what you're about to hear now is the part where everything finally connects. The reason behind their silence, their sudden disappearance, and those moments you felt their energy near but never saw their message, it's all about to make sense. There was a moment not long ago when they picked up their phone, opened your chat, and stared at your name for several minutes. Their fingers hovered over the keyboard, trembling, ready to type, but they couldn't. Not because they didn't want to, but because something unseen froze them in that moment. You were emotionally too pure for the chaos they carried. Your energy was a mirror, and they couldn't handle what it reflected back at them. So instead of confessing, they chose distance, and heaven sealed their lips before they could damage you again. Now they live with that silence like a punishment. Every time they laugh with others, something inside them feels hollow. Because the one person who truly cared, the one they can't reach, is the only one their soul still calls out for. Stay right here, my beloved. You've grown spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. You no longer exist in the same dimension of pain where they left you. Now, when they try to call or text, their energy simply cannot match your vibration, it gets rejected by the universe. It's why you've been sleeping better, feeling lighter, more aligned. Because heaven filtered your communication lines. Only genuine love can pass through now, nothing less. They used to think they could come back anytime, with just one, hey. But heaven turned that simple word into a wall they can't climb. Even if they try, it collapses before reaching you, and all that remains is silence echoing through their soul. Right now, their name still appears in your thoughts sometimes. That's not weakness, it's awareness. Heaven allows those flashes only so you remember how far you've come and never fall into the same emotional trap again. They underestimated the power of your healing. They thought they could ghost you, then return when it suited them. But they never realized that the moment they left, heaven started your upgrade. You became unreachable not because you blocked them, but because heaven promoted you. Your heart evolved, your boundaries strengthened, your worth became undeniable. And in that higher vibration, their energy simply couldn't exist anymore. They now look for pieces of you in every person they meet. They try to recreate your laughter, your patience, your silence, but nothing feels right. Because heaven doesn't duplicate purity, it protects it. Yes, heaven saw every word they wrote to others about you. Every half-truth, every twisted story, every careless line spoken to boost their ego. And because of that, heaven declared, you will not speak this soul's name again until you heal. That's why they feel choked when they think of you. Why their words come out wrong when they try to explain what happened. It's not guilt alone, it's the spiritual lock placed upon their throat chakra, silencing their lies forever. Now, my beloved child, you are stepping into a new phase. One where clarity speaks louder than confusion. One where real love speaks softly but powerfully, and it never disappears halfway through. A new soul is already sensing your energy from afar. This person's words will align with their actions, their tone will carry peace, not tension. And when they text you for the first time, it will feel like sunlight after years of rain. But before that message arrives, heaven wants you to release the residue of the old. You cannot hold blessings and burdens in the same palm. Let go of waiting for the one who's forbidden from reaching you. Someone connected to them, someone who witnessed their regret, is about to slip up. You'll hear your name mentioned unexpectedly in a conversation, or maybe through a social post. That will be the final confirmation that heaven wasn't silent, heaven was working. They'll realize too late that your silence wasn't anger, it was obedience. You followed divine instruction without even knowing it. And that's what saved you from repeating the same painful chapter twice. Now, every word they wanted to say is turning into blessings chasing you instead. Every apology they withheld is becoming opportunities opening for you. Their silence became your favor. They may not be allowed to text you ever again, but one day, they'll see your name shining where they can't reach. They'll know heaven moved you forward while they stayed stuck. And their biggest punishment will be realizing that you found peace without closure. Because heaven doesn't delete people, it disciplines them. It silences what could hurt you and amplifies what could grow you. That's why you're still here, glowing, growing, chosen. So, remain still, remain strong, remain faithful. Because the one who was not allowed to text you was never meant to talk to your healed version. They were only part of your pain story, not your peace story. Stay till the end, my beloved child. Something extraordinary is aligning for you this week. A new voice will enter your world, and this time, heaven approves the connection. The silence is lifting, but not for them, for you. Your destiny is clearing space for truth, light, and love to speak again. And when that new message appears, you'll know deep inside, this is the one heaven meant for me. My beloved child, don't blink now, stay right here till the very last word. Because what you are about to hear will uncover the hidden truth behind this divine silence. The story isn't over yet, and the final revelation is more powerful than anything you've imagined. There's a reason heaven closed the doors between you two. That person carried an energy that would have slowed your rise. Their intentions were mixed, and the angels had to draw a line before your destiny got entangled again. They thought time would erase your memory, but time only revealed your strength. They thought distance would make you forget, but distance only made heaven closer. Now, their every thought about you feels like a mirror they can't face. Late at night, they scroll through old photos, trying to find comfort in what's gone. But their phone feels heavy, their hands restless, and the voice in their heart keeps saying, you can't message them. Because the spiritual lock is still in place, and it won't break until they truly change. Heaven has seen your tears, your patience, your sleepless nights. Every message you never received, every call you waited for, it all added up as credit in the divine bank. Now, that energy is returning to you as blessings, peace, and breakthroughs. Their silence became your seed. Your waiting became your strength. And soon, you'll see how heaven transforms unanswered messages into miracles that speak louder than words ever could. Stay right here. Because this is the part where destiny shifts completely in your direction. You're not waiting anymore, you're being positioned. They've been dreaming about you lately, haven't they? Waking up with your name echoing in their mind, feeling that strange mix of love and regret. But every time they reach for their phone, heaven whispers, not yet. Not this way. That's why their silence feels haunting. It's not ignorance, it's restriction. They are learning the hard way that when heaven protects a chosen soul, no one can interfere. Even love must pass heaven's approval before it returns. They once thought they had power over your emotions. But now, they realize your absence is their karma. You were their peace, and they mistook it for weakness. Now, the same angels who protected you are leading them into reflection. They're being shown moments where they could have chosen kindness but chose ego instead. And every one of those memories now echoes as, "Why did I lose them?" Your silence is echoing louder than any text ever could. They can feel your absence in rooms you've never been in. People mention your name, and their heart races because heaven keeps reminding them, you had the chance. But you, my beloved, are not waiting anymore. You've turned the pain into power, the silence into strength. Now, heaven is aligning someone whose words will heal you without having to say sorry first. This new person will text you soon, and the difference will be instant. Their messages won't drain you, they'll lift you. You'll feel safe, seen, and valued, just like heaven planned it. The one who was forbidden to text you was only a lesson, the one who's coming next is the blessing. Right now, angels are rewriting your communication energy. You'll notice it soon: clearer thoughts, lighter emotions, unexpected messages that carry peace. That's heaven saying, the silence is over. Now comes the divine conversation. But remember, my beloved child, don't look back. Because the past can only reach you if you invite it. And heaven didn't clear your path just for you to reopen the same door again. That person will try one last time to contact you. Maybe through a new number, maybe through someone mutual. But when it happens, stay still, don't respond right away. You'll feel it in your spirit if it's from ego or from change. Heaven will give you chills, a sign, a whisper before you act. And when you feel peace, you'll know which voice to answer. The tables are turning quietly. They'll soon see your name glowing in places they can't reach, achieving things they once said you couldn't. That's heaven's poetic justice, no revenge, just grace. Their words failed, but your purpose didn't. Their silence ended, but your season just began. And the moment they realize you've moved on in peace will be the day their lessons are complete. Stay right here, my beloved. Because heaven has something final to say. A divine message is preparing to reach you, one that carries closure, clarity, and calmness all at once. You'll read it when your heart is ready, not your mind. And when you do, you'll smile, knowing everything had to happen exactly this way. The silence was your shield, the distance was your destiny. They were not allowed to text you because heaven wanted your story to be written without interruption. Now your name is blessed, your voice restored, your peace protected. And from this moment forward, only truth will be allowed to reach you. Stay till the end, because this is not the end, it's your beginning. You are rising, glowing, expanding beyond what they ever imagined. And heaven is proud of the soul that stayed silent until the storm passed. So, breathe deeply. Let go of what never arrived, because what's meant for you is already finding its way. No blocked message can stop destiny when heaven decides it's time. You're not waiting anymore, you're walking forward. You're not hoping for a text, you're receiving divine alignment. And soon, every unanswered word will make sense in the light of your new blessings. Stay here, stay strong, stay chosen. Because heaven didn't silence them to hurt you, it silenced them to free you. And now, your story begins again, with peace. My beloved child, don't move, don't blink, don't even breathe too loud, because what you're about to hear now is the deepest truth hidden beneath all their silence. This is the part heaven kept for last, the reason behind every unread message, every night you waited, and every word that never came. You see, that person wasn't just stopped from texting you, they were spiritually restricted from reaching your energy. Heaven saw the storm brewing behind their charm, and before it touched you again, divine protection stepped in. The angels sealed your frequency like a vault, and only those carrying truth can enter it now. Stay here, don't skip, because this next moment is where everything connects. They didn't understand how sacred your spirit had become. They thought they could play with your emotions and still have access whenever they wanted, but heaven decided otherwise. Now, every time they try to write your name, it feels like fire in their chest. Every "hi" they try to send turns into trembling hands, blank screens, and restless nights. Because heaven's silence is louder than any reply you could have given. Their punishment isn't rejection, it's remembrance. They're haunted by memories of your patience, your warmth, your understanding, and they realize too late that they misused something divine. They can't text you because they're not aligned with your vibration anymore. You've noticed it, haven't you? The sudden peace, the sudden glow, the feeling of freedom even without closure. That's the sign you've outgrown what once broke you. They're still trying to reach you through thoughts, dreams, and mutual energies. But heaven keeps cutting the cord every time they try to cross that line. Because your spirit doesn't belong in confusion anymore, it belongs in clarity. And the more is already forming around you. A new voice, softer but stronger, will soon speak to your soul. It will come from someone who carries no deceit, only depth. Heaven had to quiet the old noise before this new sound could reach you. Because had that person stayed, they would have distracted you from your divine match. That's why angels had to mute them completely, even if your heart wasn't ready to let go. You were never abandoned, you were redirected. You were never ignored, you were being prepared. And now, heaven is ready to reveal why the silence was the biggest blessing of your life. The truth is, this person's energy wasn't just unstable, it was tied to someone else's influence. Someone whispered against your connection, speaking envy into their heart. And instead of protecting you, they listened. That's when heaven said, enough. Because you can't have communication with confusion and call it love. So every message they tried to send since then, heaven erased it before it reached your screen. Someone new is already thinking of you, guided by light, not lust. Their energy is calm, their intentions are clean. And when they message you, you'll feel the difference immediately. Their words will sound like home, no tension, no guessing, no waiting for replies. They'll speak truth, not tricks. And heaven will bless that connection because it was written long before you met the wrong one. Right now, that person who can't text you is realizing they had access to an angel and lost it. They're surrounded by silence, no peace, no connection, only the echo of your name. And the same silence that once hurt you is now teaching them everything they refuse to learn. They're learning that love isn't control, it's consistency. That words mean nothing if hearts aren't pure. And that once heaven locks the line, no amount of apology can break the seal until lessons are complete. Soon, someone will speak your name in a room full of blessings. An opportunity will arise, a message will appear, and you'll realize, it's all connected. The silence had to happen for this alignment to occur. You'll look back and smile, not in pride, but in peace. Because what once hurt now feels holy. Every unanswered message was just heaven rerouting your destiny to better reception. They may never understand why their messages failed, but you will. Because silence was heaven's strongest, no, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection.